So I'll be showing you a quick demo of how to use Figma and how our group personally use certain features. So a quick tour of the layout when you open a design file. Up here are all your tools. So this is where you'll move and scale components. If you want to create a frame or slice a frame, add vector shapes, or even upload your own image. The pen and pencil tool to free draw. Here you can create text boxes. The hand is really useful to drag things around. And this is where you'll add comments and you can place them anywhere on the page. When you create a new frame, there are lots of options on what device you're prototyping. So if you create a frame, right here, you'll see that they have different options for phones, tablets, even watches. You could also create simple wireframes and flowcharts with the presentation and paper option. So all your different frames will be shown under this layers column. And if you kind of hover over it, it'll show you which one you're looking at. And if you expand the toggle, it'll show all of the components on that frame. A really useful feature that I like is if you're done with the frame, you can lock it. So then you can't personally move or accidentally delete something. And let's say you don't really like a frame, but you don't want to completely scrap it, you can hide it with this little eye, and it'll make it disappear. On the right-hand side is where you'll have your design components. So if I highlight, for example, this rectangle, you can see you can change the alignment, the X and Y axis, width and height, degrees, and even the radius. So that's how you kind of get these curved corners. You can even add constraints. And this layer option is if you have multiple frames on top of each other and how it'll present. You can change the color. It's really cool because you can change the transparency and even kind of like a gradient also. They have different options for that. You can add borders with the stroke effects, so any shadows or blurs to your components, and you can even export it as well. So all of these specifications that you provide in design is actually what helps Figma create your code. So if you go to inspect, they'll give you all the properties, as well as down here, it's under Android, so it'll give you the XML. If you're designing an iOS or website, you can also change it and it'll give you the code for that corresponding. This is really useful to just completely copy and paste into Android Studio, or even just to reference how they did any of the width, color, height in XML. Lastly, we have prototype. So this is kind of where your wireframes come to life and kind of look like an interactive app without having to code anything. So for example, I have a profile icon here and I want that to go to the profile page. So you'll just highlight that component, and under prototype, you'll create a new interaction. And for this, I want it to be when you tap it, but you can change it to dragging, hovering, or if the mouse enters or leaves, you want to navigate that to whatever page you want. The animation section is really fun if you want to add something a little bit more fancy. So you can make it dissolve, move in, out, push, and it'll even show you what that looks like here. And all of these will be shown when it's in presentation mode. So if you click over here, this little present, it'll take you to this page and it'll show you all the frames here, but all of the components that you implemented will be interactive.